Hello again. How you doing? Back at it. Another pickup video. This time we're relaxed, just chilling, no big setup. Just sitting in the chair. Gonna bring you some good pickups. Gave Mario the night off. Peach, know you play that game? Rosalina, knows she your side bitch? He ain't listening. Let's get to the pickups. Let Mario do his thing. It's a good game, by the way. Yes, it has. But it's a good game. All right. Let's just go from a continuation of my pickups for last week and that big Nintendo lot. I took all the duplicates that I had in there. I wound up keeping like 15 to 20 of those games I didn't already have. And I took the rest to the local retro shop. And just love it. I love that shop. And he's a great guy. He gives you decent cash for the ones I had, like that are worth it. So the Contra, the Super Mario 2 and 3. You feeling super yet over there, buddy? But I got some good cash. But the common ones, the commons, the ones that aren't worth, a lot of money. He says, listen, I'll give you cash, like a couple bucks. I'll give you credit, like $3. But your best deal is doing a 2-for-1 common trade. So 2 of your commons for 1 of his straight off the shelf. Not the ones he's got in the glass case, but off the shelf. So I took some of the common ones, like the Top Gun and the things like that, and I did some trading. And for that, I got Art of Fighting on the Genesis, World Heroes on Super Nintendo, Kung Fu, and Darius Twin. Not the best shape, but Darius Twin. He's like, that was on my common shelf? And I told him, I'm like, it's been on your common shelf for like 3 months. I've been looking at this game every time I've come in for like 2 or 3 months. And I asked you about it one time. I'm like, Darius Twin? That's up here? He's like, yeah, surprisingly, it's not, very valuable. But now he's looking at like, apparently the past 3 months, it's become not common and the price has gone up. He's like, listen, I'll honor it. I believe you. It's on the shelf. But wow, because he said he was holding one back to price. So nice little pickup there. I'm not going to say I caught him slipping because this led to a story about how 3 years ago, like PS2 games he was doing, I think 4 for 20 or 5 for 20 or something like that. And I picked up a stack one day, and one of them was Def Jam Fight for New York, as I dropped the valuable game on the floor. Good thing I wasn't holding my beer. But I said, yeah, I picked that up from you, and now lo and behold, here years later, it's worth like 50 to 60 bucks. It's hard to believe. He's like, quite honestly, you probably caught me slipping then. It's probably worth 20 back then. So I'm going to pick up the game. You can watch what Mario's watching. But yeah, pretty nice find. Okay, up next, at a garage sale a few weeks ago, I gave my card. I got tired of just giving people my phone number and having them just jot it down on a piece of paper they had lying around or a newspaper and put it in their pocket or put it whatever. Who knows where that went? So I printed out some business cards with my name, my email address, my phone number, and in case they found it later and forgot, what I do. I collect video games. And when people say, oh, I've got that old Nintendo, it's been in the garage, or, a multi-family sale, somebody brought some stuff over to somebody else's house, and they're like, oh yeah, I've got a Nintendo back in my closet at home. Why didn't I bring that? I'm like, whipping out the card. Here you go. Give me a call when you get home later. Go through the closet or whatever, find it, and when you do, let me know. It's gotten a few more hits than just giving my phone number out as so far. And this past weekend, I did it like 10 times. If 2 of those people call me back, if I get a 20% success rate on this past Saturday, I'm going to be rolling in some good stuff. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, at this garage sale, he had a bunch of collectible stuff. But as far as video games go, not a whole lot. I picked up that Simpsons Road Rage. I remember showing that. But he called me, actually text messaged me, and he said, because what I had done for him is he collects wrestling figures. Like those old from the early to mid 80s, like they're yay tall and they're hard plastic, they're not posable. He collects those, and he had a bunch of duplicates for sale at his garage sale. And I'm just reminiscing, and he's going off all he has, and I'm like, man, I got one. I found a junkyard dog at a garage sale years ago, and I bought it for 50 cents. And he's like, oh man, junkyard dog is one of the ones I'm missing. I'm like, really? You don't have the junkyard dog? He's like, no, I'd love. So I'm like, no problem, man. He lives really close by. I'm like, dude, I'll go get it. I'll go get it. So I go and get JYD. I tell him, hey, buddy, you're about to have some friends. And I take him over there, and I hand it to the dude. He's like, how much you want for it? I'm like, here's what I want. Whip out the card. You ever find any more games? You find some of those Nintendo games you say you may have. You live in this trailer park here. You know anyone who has any old games you're trying to sell? Call me. Call me. It's like, all right, man. So he called, and he said he found some PS1 games. And he asked if I wanted them. I'm like, sure, I'll come take a look. He's like, no, man, you can have them. And I'm about to take off. I'm going to leave them in my newspaper slot. Just come by this afternoon and get them. Now, they're not great, but as a wrestling fan, I like it. WCW Nitro. WCW versus the world. Voices the world. Voices the world. And WCW Thunder. WCW NWO Thunder. Again, not the greatest games. I mean, whatever. But, hey, that's awesome. Dude thought of me. He's like, oh, I'm going to give that guy a call. That's, that's putting yourself out there a little bit. All right. Let's see here. Before I get into this past weekend's finds, I'm going to do these games. If you haven't heard of them, there's this company they're called Limited Run Games. And they take games that are like digitally released on PS4, Xbox One, and they do a limited amount of physical copies. And I've ordered a couple of them, and they both came in last week. First one is Saturday Morning RPG. They only did 2,500 PS4 copies, and they did 2,500 Vita copies. Oh, Mario. Dude, no. He's not ready for it to go to sleep. There you go, my friend. You know who's my favorite? Where's my favorite? Where's she at? Right there. She's the best. She's a good one right there. Anyway, they did 2,500 for each Sony platform. Other one is new and tasty. Oddworld. I believe this is the remaster of the first game for PS1. Yeah, Oddworld Waves Odyssey. They did 5,000 for each Sony platform. So 5,000 PS4, 5,000 Vita. And they run like $25 to $35, I believe. And going on eBay for like near 100, but these aren't going on eBay. So hey, if you're a collector, I mean, it's pure speculation if these are going to be valuable. And I'm certain somebody out there has gotten everyone so far because they've released a few other games that I wasn't interested in. This one's intrigued me since it first hit the store, and I love Oddworld, so I got that. The intriguing thing is they have openly discussed rumors like that they are trying to get Fatal Frame 5 that is only here in America on the Wii U eShop. So didn't get a physical release here in America. Got one in Japan. Got a very limited one over in Europe. It may have been UK only. And it's only like a special edition that costs like $100 or whatever. So far, all their games have only been Sony games. They haven't been able to, for one reason or another, to work with Microsoft. But I kind of hoping, I really hope if there's petitions going around or whatever, if Operation Rainfall wants to get busy and try to get that physical release of Fatal Frame 5, because I haven't bought it yet. I want to play it. It looks awesome, but it would take up most of the memory on my Wii U, and I don't want to buy a separate hard drive. And then on top of that, pay $60 to play a game. I'd rather just get the disc. So if that happens, I'm taking the day off work to make sure I get one. So make sure it doesn't sell out. Oh, it also comes with let's see, I got like these postcard dealios right there, and they sent stickers with each one, so that's pretty neat. All right, garage selling this past week. I hit a few G sales and wasn't getting any hits, and I hit this one that had all these like collectible things. Like they had Star Wars stuff, they had these toys, they had all this stuff, and I asked about video games. And she said, "Oh, we only really play Xbox. We got rid of the Nintendo, la-da-da, so many years ago." I was like, "Oh, that's too bad." But I'm kind of checking out the Star Wars stuff, and I see this thing sitting on the table. It's a Portal 2 Potatoes Science Kit. And I asked her about it. I'm like, "What is this?" And she said, "Oh, we got that from Think Geek." And what it is, if you've never seen it before, I hope all the parts are here. I haven't looked. But when, spoiler alert, GLaDOS turns into a potato in Portal 2, there's the parts. You get your own potato, which I eat potatoes, so I've got a potato. Apparently these light up. There's some lights and things. And then you've got Shell's little elementary school science project board right there to display your potato. Not the most spectacular thing, but it was $1. And if all the parts are there, I have to double check. I'm not even sure. The directions are in here as well on just where to put the things on the GLaDOS potato. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, just, if anything, it's a neat little thing to have for one of my favorite games. Probably my favorite PS3 game of the last generation. Okay, moving on. Next garage sale. I found Just Dance 4 for the Wii U, still sealed and wrapped, and I paid the $2. So, got that. I bought this, I had this in hand, and I was trying to convince them because they were talking about all the other stuff they had. They talked about Super Nintendo, but the kids still play it. I'm like, well, how old are the kids? Oh, 9 and 7, and they don't play it a whole lot. They don't, but every month or so they break it out and play Little Mario. I'm like, oh, they like the iPad more. I know they do. So I gave my card. Hey, when they're through with that Super Nintendo, give me a call. It's like, I don't know if I can get rid of NBA Jam. Keep the system in NBA Jam. What else you got? And then she's like, I got a Nintendo. There's a box in there that just says Nintendo. And I know I have an old Nintendo. I'm like, oh, wait. She didn't have it. She's like, I don't know if I gave it to my brother or it's missing. That's one of the ones I'm really hoping to hear from here in a few days. If they find that Nintendo. I hope I hear from them. Next G sale. I got Spec Ops The Line. He tried to charge me $7 for this because it's still sealed. I'm like, dude, you only paid $5 for it. I could see the Target clearance sticker on it. And I got Far Cry 2 with this dust cover thing. And I think this was like GameStop exclusive packaging or something. Yeah, GameStop pre-order edition includes. Who knows if that's still available. $2 a pop for those. Getting harder to find PS3 games that I'm both interested in and B don't have. Next garage sale. I asked about video games. This kid's like, do you like DS? Absolutely, I like DS. So he goes inside, and like he's a kid, like less than 10, 8 or 9. I'm making sure not to go to sleep again. I don't want Mario to get pissed at me. He tends to shoot fire when he gets mad. It's bad. So he like rushes inside, and mom and dad are sitting there like, well, they're his games if he wants to sell them. So he comes out with a handful of DS, 3DS games, and I pick out two. First one was Mario Pinball Land for the Game Boy Advance. I asked him how much he wanted for that, and he said, I don't know, 50 cents? And I turned to Dad sitting right there. I'm like, 50 cents? Are you all right with him selling that for 50 cents? He's like, they're his games. All right. And then I also pick out for 3DS Oregon Trail, the Oregon Trail, bringing back some childhood elementary school memories right there. And I asked him how much for that, and he said, "Oh, that's newer." Dad's like, "Yeah, that's for the new system, son." He's like, $2? I'm like, "So $250 for both?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that." So $250 for the two games. I left a couple things there because, I mean, I don't want to take advantage of a kid too much, even if his mom and dad are absolutely cool with it. But he brought out New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS, which I already have. He probably would have said $2 or $3 on that, which would have been an easy, like, you know, I don't know how much a loose cart goes. I imagine somewhere around $10, maybe 8 to 10. And there was Pokemon Ranger for the DS, which I also left there, which, granted, is not like the most sought-after Pokemon game, but it's still probably, for a DS game, I imagine he'd ask for like $1. So I'm like, you know, these are the ones I want to keep. Pokemon and New Super Mario Brothers would have been easy reselling. So let the kid make his money on those. And I'll figure out how to make my money elsewhere. All right, this garage sale. Oh wait, no, that's the next one. This garage sale I almost skipped because it was a little bit out of the way. I was going to make a turn to this neighborhood that had 2 or 3 sales going on. But if I had stayed straight for like another mile and turned and gone another mile, it's one garage sale over there. I'm like, oh, do I want to go out of the way to like this middle of nowhere, no houses around, house for, and long story short, I did. And they had a tiny little stack of games for $1 a piece. I got Lord of the Rings 2 Towers for Xbox. And Summoner 2 for PS2, which is in really good, I say really good condition as it falls apart. It's missing a manual clip, but the disc is in good condition. I thought it was more valuable, but it's like a $10 game, but I didn't have it. And it's not a game you usually see on a stack of PS2 games at a garage sale just laying on a blanket. You know, not everybody bought Summoner 2. You always see fucking Madden. This garage sale surprised me because I get up Saturday morning and I'm doing my deal, going on Craigslist, plotting my path for the day. I see this garage sale, and she had taken pictures of Xbox games and Xbox 360 and Xbox 360 games. And I'm looking at the picture, and I see a game. And this garage sale is way the hell out of the way. Like, there's a smaller town, I've talked about it before, about 10 miles away, that I always try to hit because it seems like the people here in my town stay in town, and I get away out there because nobody's kind of hitting that yet. But this one is not only in that town, you go past that town, then past this neighborhood and over. It's kind of in the sticks, is what I'm getting at. And they opened at 7:30, and it was probably 10 till 7, and I hadn't jumped in the shower yet. So I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to stay in town, I'm going to hit the garage sales, I'm going to stay on my path. If I'm over in that area later today, I'll go see if they have anything left. But I'm not rushing over there to beat a crowd trying to get this one game. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to be a shark. So I go over there. I hit these neighborhood sales. One of them was where I got the DS games and stuff. And I hit this one, and I see the box of Xbox 360 and Xbox games. I start going through it, and nobody had touched. It was like 11:15 in the morning. Nobody had come around, and I can only just lead me to believe that the people who are doing this to sell on eBay, make money, not collectors, haven't figured out that there are some original Xbox games that can turn a profit, that can make you a little money. So the games I picked out, and I paid the $1 that's on the sticker on each one. Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Nightcaster, Defeat the Darkness, Evil Dead Regeneration, and Conquer Live and Reloaded, which is going for $40 to $50 still. Maybe a little less, $35 to $40. Good condition. Disc is not in the greatest shape. It's not ill play. Excuse me, beer burp. But it's in decent condition. I can't believe either people missed it, the Sharks are not yet because it's early May, or they just don't care about Xbox yet. Even collectors, people like me, who don't collect for Xbox, they should know that this game, especially for $1, can, be a little make good. Can maybe, if depending on the day, pay for your garage sale trip. So there's that. I'm glad I have it. I bought one like 2 years ago at a garage sale, also for $1, and I think I sold it for $35. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet with it, because I have started keeping some Xbox games in my collection, but it's not like I'm collecting for the system. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But her? She's the nerdy one. She's hot. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard. Like, I've got Rule of Rose over in my shelf. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome to have in my collection. Then again, it's like a $200 bill. It's a $200 bill, Brando. All day. It's like really hard. Like, am I a PlayStation 2 collector? I didn't grow up with a PlayStation 2. I was an adult when a PlayStation 2. Mostly an adult. I was graduating from college. I think I did graduate from college the same year it came out. I was technically an adult. I want Nintendo stuff. Rule of Rose could bring me some decent Nintendo stuff. But, so it's kind of one of those things I'm going to have to decide. Get my $40 for it, or keep it in the collection. She's the porn star. Yeah. It's a good game. It really is. Finally, God, this is getting long for a laid-back pickup video. Yesterday, I decided to wrap up my video game collecting, hunting journey by doing a pawn shop run. Usually every 2 or so weeks, I just go to the pawn shop, just mostly to show my face, because it's hard to forget this fat fuck coming through your doors. And there was some games in this one, an NES game called Stinger, that I've been eyeing for like a few months. And they had $8 on it or something, and I kind of talked myself like, go ahead and get it. And I had some little bit of credit. I would have got it for like $3 or $4, but it was gone. So the one thing I see is this Genesis game, Earthworm Jim 2. I've never played the Earthworm Jims on the Genesis, even though I've heard that they're better on Genesis than they are on the NES. This is not in the greatest condition, as you can see. There was some sort of rental labeler here that took the label as someone tried to peel it off. I actually did work on the rest of the label and did okay. I did a little damage over here, but it's still better than having that label that was on it. But this side, of course, is fucked. Backside, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, there's some, looks a little geeky and what, I had the hardest time picking a hair out of this screw. Just would not come out. And they had $10 on it. So I'm like, ugh. With my credit, I'd probably get it down to $5, but, I don't know if that's going to play. I'm going to have to clean it. I'm not pulling it up again. You should be finished. So, I don't know. So as I'm kind of sitting there him and hawing about that, I see this other game. I'll just slide it in. Right there. I could hardly see it because in the little case they had the SNES games just like piled high. This was at the very top, which means it was kind of covered by the like PS3 games above it. So you could like, I just saw that price tag. I'm like, what fucking game do they have for $60 in this case? And I saw Super Metroid. So I got it out, and I see it's in decent condition, you know, player's choice, but that's alright. Slight label damage to the top, nothing too special. But overall, nothing too special, nothing too bad. Overall, really clean, really nice shape. And so I grabbed the 2 games, they opened the case for me, I'm like, what kind of deal can you make me here? And he pulls up this on eBay, which I had already done too. And he goes to the sold listings, which I had already done too. Hey, I got no problem with this pawn shop. They go straight to the sold listings when they're checking eBay. And 60 is about above average. There are some going for 53, 54, 58 to 65, you know, around 65, 66. He's like, I don't know, man. Then he talks to like his boss, and the boss is like, I don't know. I can get 60 for that all day on eBay. It just came in 2 days ago. And that's why I'm fucking telling him, well, fucking put it on eBay. That's what I want to say when they say that. Like, if you can get 60 for it on eBay, put it on fucking eBay. Why is it sitting on your shelf for 2 days? Put it on eBay. But thanks for not putting it on eBay. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, listen, I got $5 in these pawn shop bucks. How about knock another 5 off? Like, look at this. This looks like you dug it out of a sewer. I'm not sure if it will play. How about you knock $5 off, and I'll use the $5 in the pawn shop bucks, and we'll do 60 for both. It's like, all right. So I basically got Earthworm Jim for free. He's like, you gotta promise you don't return if it doesn't work. I'm sure I'll clean it or something. Hopefully it'll work. It should work. So yeah, finally got Super Metroid in the collection. Never owned that when I was a kid. Had to make tough choices as a kid, and I never got around to Super Metroid. Covered his fat face. Go whale. Anyway, that's the pickups for the week. Unfortunately, I got to work Saturday, so I'm not going to get hardly any G-sale time in. Hopefully there's some early ones that start around 7. I can hit those before having to head to work at 8:30. So whoever's in my town, there's one less guy going around this weekend. But it's snowing today, and if the weather sucks during the week, people don't schedule garage sales for the Saturday, even if Saturday is scheduled to be like 80 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. So I'm hoping people see the snow like, fuck it, we'll do this next week. Please, I'll be off. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the pickups. And wow, 28 minutes. Jesus Christ, you watch this for 28 minutes? I won't watch this for 28 minutes. What? Thank you. Subscribe, like, thumbs up, and keep your videos coming. Keep your collection videos coming, your hunting videos coming, because I love seeing your finds and hope you like seeing mine. Take care, and I will see you next time. Hopefully he'll be ready to go back to work.